So the reason I wanted to actually show you guys that video, which was literally shot off my iPhone as I was holding on for dear life from a three-wheeled motorcycle, which is why it's sort of bumpy, um, is because of that shock value that I experienced. We were there also with a team of nature reporters when you just come out to what is essentially a desert. Um, I was there with Luis Fernandez, who you saw mysteriously holding a cucumber, in a region called Madre de Dios, which is a province in Peru, and it is between essentially two national parks that I'd spent a lifetime hearing about: Manu National Park in Peru and Madini National Park in Bolivia. And many of our partners actually have worked to conserve these areas. It is one of the most specious places on this planet per hectare. And it is a place where, in a biosphere reserve, we saw 30,000 miners in 3 years clear 15,000 hectares of the most important habitat on our planet. We hear about the fires, we hear about the agricultural deforestation that happens, but artisanal scaled mining is a much less known problem, which is part of the reason for the Grand Challenges. Grand Challenges allow us to focus communities and raise awareness and find new solutions from adjacent spaces around where we are. It is informal and therefore dependent on criminal networks, on the same networks to actually get back into the formal economy that are involved in trafficking in persons, trafficking in wildlife, trafficking in weapons, trafficking in drugs. But it is not, it may be called small scale and artisanal mining, but it involves somewhere between 40 million to 100 million people worldwide. It is not something that we can just instantly ban. It is a process that we actually have to figure out a way to transform. It is also responsible, just in the case of gold alone, for 37% of mercury emissions worldwide. So this grand challenge is about how we're going to address a situation that has literally sterilized forests, that has transformed the habitat to 1/3 to water that is filled with mercury, that has transformed other habitats around the world. And in fact, artisanal small-scale mining is found in 130 countries on almost every continent on this planet except for Antarctica. And it is a challenge that faces all of us in humanity. It is responsible for so much of what we use every day, for 80% of global sapphires, 20% of gold mining, 20% of diamond mining, and for tin, tungsten, cobalt, and tantalum that help form many of the materials that are within the products that we use every day. It is kind of interesting. We're in San Jose, and in San Jose, they have a newspaper called the Mercury News. And I just thought, that sounds suspicious to me. So I did what anyone else does. You look it up on Wikipedia, and it was true. The San Jose Mercury News rose with the growth of the mercury industry in the Bay Area, which was developed around here. And 170 years later, we still have mercury problems in the Bay that we are dealing with. And the idea is, how do we stop this from happening? And how do we find entirely new solutions around what we're trying to do? This is a wicked problem. And we're not doing it, and all of the partners that are involved in this are doing it because we like to run to hard problems rather than run away with them. It involves complexities that are specific to the places that are where it's happening, whether it's happening in Madagascar, the Congo, or the Amazon. And we need solutions that understand the design of what we're trying to do and the context in which it happens. So this is a chance now for us to have a deeper dive into this problem, and we'll hear that from the next speaker. Thank you.